Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It is time for, you guessed it, the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. So let's lift off
T-minus 10,
together.
9, 8,
Eight,
7,
seven,
6,
six,
5,
five.
4,
Come on,
3, 2,
you know the rest.
1, 0. Ignition.
Here we go.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Let's get going. Yes.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your
And
hats.
get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio.
It's the show with no name.
Let's go. Welcome, show with no namers from all around the world. Great to have you with us for another exciting show, an English extravaganza. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna play, and we're even gonna learn. Sure we are. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And we've got a magical potion. Hey, I learned that word potion from my daughter. Bueno, en español, pócima. We say potion. Yeah, well, she got, I think it was last year for her birthday, she got this little thing where she mixed all these different things together, stars and little colors and food dye. It was, this kind of little science kit of sorts. And she said, Dad, it's pócimas. And I'm like, what is a pócima? So I looked it up and I said, oh, claro, potion. That's right. See, we can even learn from children's toys. You can learn from anything if you are open to it. And I know you guys, you've got the right state of mind. Your head is where it needs to be. Yeah, you should always be asking yourself, if you're watching a series, listening to a podcast, reading an article, you should always say, does this mean something or what does it mean? And you know what? A lot of times you'll take away a little lesson. In fact, another way to say a lesson is a takeaway. What's the lesson? Right? Anytime something happens in life, we always say, what is the lesson? What is the takeaway? So, folks, welcome to the show with no name. Again, thank you for being here every day. Thanks for your participation. As I said, every day, even though I don't even use social media very much, when I open it up, maybe once a day, I always find nice comments there in my email inbox. So I thank you so much for that, because as I said, it's just something that it's a perk of this job. A perk is another way of saying a benefit. It is a perk of my job, of doing my job in the public sphere, where I've been doing it for 16 years, because I started out teaching in classrooms, logically, with 4 or 5 students tops, maximo. But now I've got thousands of students, and I've taught on TV, on the radio, and here on Vaughn Radio for the last 16 years. So I'm always being judged, right? It's par for the course. Es lo que tiene cuando trabajas en público, right? Now, if I were just teaching in a classroom, well, the only people judging me would be my students, my 4 or 5 students that I have in said class. But in this case, we've got thousands of students. And I say we because I mean all of us who teach here on Vaughn Radio. So thank you for choosing to learn with Vaughn Radio, with my amigos, with Rob, with Kyle, with Jules Linares, with Richard, of course, and with yours truly, un servidor. Also, speaking of Richard, don't forget, we've got a trivia night coming up. It's going to be the last one of the year, and it is, let me check my calendar here. It is December 2nd. That's right, December 2nd, and it's going to be awesome because it's going to be hosted by Richard. Now, bring your A game, as we say. Bring your A game. Tienes que venir listos para jugar en primera, would be maybe not, I don't know how you would say the expression in Spanish, but you catch my drift. Bring your A game because Richard, well, he knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. And he will put us to the test. It's at the same place it always is. It's the Toast Tap Room. It's in Malasaña, so it's very centrally located in Madrid. And it is the 2nd of December. That's right, December 2nd. And it's going to be a blast. We're all going to be there to close out the year. I can't believe it. 2025 was coming to an end. And where did it go? Really, it's like this show every day. It just flies by. Well, same thing, folks. The year flies by. The decades fly by, don't they? I mean, I can't believe it. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be 48. 48, that's 2 years away from 50. And we all know how fast 2 years fly by, right? So the beautiful thing, we've got to make every second count. And that's what we do here on the show every day. And that's what we should be doing in our lives as well. And speaking of making the most of the moment, guys, you have until the 30th of November, 2025 to take advantage of our special offer on our master's program. You can get a €600 discount. What? Yeah, you heard, €600 off if you sign up before the 30th of November, 2025. Also, if you're thinking about the cursos intensivos de inglés por semanas, okay? These you can get a 30% discount, but that offer is only until November 16th. What I'll do is I'll share the link with you here in the group, and this way you can take a look and see if it's something that works for you. But if you were ever thinking about doing the masters or signing up for classes with us, this is the moment. That's when all the special deals are going on, pre-Christmas, Black Friday, as they call it. In fact, if you want to know, I do the same thing. Not with Vaughn, obviously. I don't sign up for courses here at Vaughn. My English and my daughter's English are A-OK. But the Bono Parques, I know many of you know that I love theme parks. And there's something called the Bono Parques, and I'm not getting paid for this. And you can go to Parque de Atracciones, Warner, this, that, the other, the zoo, Faunia, like all these different things. And I always wait to renew, because we've gotten it now. This will be the 3rd year. I always wait to renew it around this time because that's when the best deals are. And just yesterday, I got an email from Bono Parques that said, oye, ya están las ofertas. And I'm like, that's the one I was waiting for. So again, if you were thinking about doing it and you needed just a little more motivation, this is it. I mean, €600, think about that. You can go to London or some other destination a little bit cheaper than London, and you could have a really nice weekend putting all the English you've learned in the master's program into practice. So again, if you were thinking about anything like that, whether it's courses, whether it's the masters, now is the time. Another thing you should do too, just like I do with Bono Parques, is sign up for the newsletter. You'll get all this information in the newsletter. If you use social media, well, then follow Vaughn on all the different platforms. And of course, you'll get that information there as well. All right, amigos, let's rock and roll with our first challenge. It's today's Say What soundbite. Get up. Say what? What? Also, guys, I just want to remind you, if you'd like to participate in our question of the week, and some people already have, that applause is for Gloria, Anix, and Chris Valrol. They've already participated. They're telling us about their first job. So tell us about your first job. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Right? The idea is to express yourself in English. And I'm going to warn you right now, don't say job. It's job. Why? Because if you're saying yob, you're saying gamberro. Please don't call me a yob. Y-O-B, gamberro, vándalo. Hey, I've been called it before, but I don't need to be called it again. So make sure when you pronounce it, you practice that sound. I know it's a really difficult one. Just kidding. Job. Jerry. Jelly. June. Not Yoon. June. July. I've heard a lot of people say, you lie. And I'm like, no, I don't. Tu mientes, Julio. You lie, my friend. No, I don't. I promise. I've got nothing to lie about. So make sure, you get those words. Again, these are that J sound in English is one of the hardest sounds to recreate for Spanish speakers, not for maybe Portuguese or French. Depending what your original language is, your mother tongue, as we call it, well, you'll have different sounds that are trickier, right? That's par for the course. It's natural, right? The Germans, they can't say the, they say the. The Germans, they say, what do you want? Instead of what. So they have the z and the w sound. The French, it's just a totally different accent. Right? The mouth is open, it moves in a different way. Right? And again, I'm not laughing at anybody. I think that's beautiful. I've been imitating people since the day I was born, starting with my own parents. And I remember one of the first imitations I used to do too was these TV preachers, these televangelists, as we call them. And the Lord said unto them, they get really into it. You want to talk about conviction? Man, those televangelists, they really, really get into their roles. All right. Well, folks, as always, I want you to listen carefully because, well, I think today's is going to be relatively easy. And as always, I want you to listen. I want you to give me your take, tu opinión, and hopefully, and I think today, definitely, before the end of the show, several of you should be able to get it word for word. Again, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, comparing it to the ones we usually look at, this is like a 1 or a 2. Okay, yesterday, by the way, Chris Valrol, you pulled a rabbit out of a hat yesterday with that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was a tough one yesterday because it wasn't even just natural English. It was math jargon, jerga de matemática. So today, I'm going to go easy on you. No os voy a dar mucha caña. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Cole!
And what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes?
Wedding present.
Wouldn't it have been simpler to have it sent over? Well, you said you had something to say.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. Your chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No, there's un pum, pum. en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. This book is the shit. It's available at Von Tienda, as with many other awesome materials. Remember, we've got an online bookshop, or you can stop by one of our offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza. All right, well, let's see what material we're going to look at in today's Pop Quiz. Come on. Come on. Pop quiz, quiz, quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz, quiz, quiz. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, welcome to today's pop quiz here on the show with no name. And today we're going to take a look at our translation booklet. There are 6,000 sentences in this book. Well, really, 24,000. Well, what do I mean? Well, do you remember yesterday? I said every translation has four versions, 4 iterations. Sure, pues vamos a mirar esa misma frase. There are 6,000 sentences in this book. That's an affirmative. Question? ¿Cuántas? How many sentences are there in this book? Bueno, ya tenemos la afirmación, ya tenemos la pregunta, la negación. No hay 5,000. There aren't 5,000 sentences in the book. Y ahora la indirecta. ¿Sabes cuántas frases hay en el libro? Go ahead, you. Do you know how many sentences there are in the book? Well, yes, because I just told you there are 6,000. They come with audio so that you can replicate that audio and make sure you're pronouncing all the different words and structures correctly. So as always in our pop quiz, pay attention because I will have a couple questions for you afterwards.
Vaughan Systems, Translation Booklet 2.
Translation List 1.
Hay sal en la mesa.
There's some salt on the table.
¿Hay pan en la bolsa?
Is there any bread in the bag?
Hay solo unos cuantos.
There are only a few.
Hay una carretera no lejos.
There's a highway not far away, or there's a main road not far away.
Hay días cuando es fácil.
There are days when it's easy.
Hay bancos a lo largo de la orilla del río.
There are benches along the riverbank.
Hay unos cajones en mi mesa de trabajo.
There are some drawers in my desk.
No hay mucha gente como él.
There aren't many people like him.
Hay un perro en la puerta, de valla.
There's a dog at the gate.
¿De quién es el perro?
Whose dog is it?
Es del señor Bruno.
It's Mr. Bruno's.
Es el señor cuyo hijo es poeta.
He's the man whose son is a poet.
¿Por qué hay problemas como este?
Why are there problems like this?
Hay uno aquí.
There's one here.
Hay otro allí.
There's another one over there.
Este es mío y el otro es de él.
This one's mine, and the other one's his.
No hay muchos hombres como él.
There aren't many men like him.
Hay muchos niños como ellos.
There are a lot of children like them.
¿Hay mujeres en tu empresa?
Are there any women in your company?
No hay juguetes en la caja.
There aren't any toys in the box.
Su hija de ellos se llama Elsie.
Their daughter's name is Elsie.
Su habitación de ella está junto a la de su hermano.
Her room's next to her brother's.
Hay alguien en la puerta.
There's someone at the door.
No hay nadie en la puerta.
There's no one at the door.
Hay tiempo de sobra para eso.
There's plenty of time for that.
Translation List 2.
Hay alguien fuera.
There's someone outside.
¿Quién es?
Who is it?
Creo que es el señor Brown.
I think it's Mr. Brown.
¿Estás seguro de que es él?
Are you sure it's him?
Por supuesto que sí.
Of course I am.
¿Está con alguien?
Is he with someone?
Hay una mujer alta con él.
There's a tall woman with him.
Hay otra gente también.
There are some other people too.
Hay una foto de él en casa.
There's a picture of him at home.
Hay un tractor en medio.
There's a tractor in the way.
No hay tiempo para eso.
There isn't any time for that.
Solo hay una manera, la mía.
There's only one way, mine.
No hay leones en Noruega.
There aren't any lions in Norway.
Hay unas herramientas en esa caja.
There are some tools in that box.
No hay sistema de calefacción en esta oficina.
There is no heating system in this office.
¿Por qué hay gente como él?
Why are there people like him?
Hay mucho dinero para ella.
There's a lot of money for her.
Hay un hombre allí, ¿no?
There's a man there, isn't there?
¿Hay vino en la estantería?
Is there any wine on the shelf?
El vestido de la mujer es de París.
The woman's dress is from Paris.
¿Cuáles son sus intenciones de él?
What are his intentions?
Hay varias razones, una de las cuales es importante.
There are several reasons, one of which is important.
Hay algo extraño aquí.
There's something strange here.
Hay tiempo, pero no mucho.
There's some time, but not much.
Hay anuncios, pero no muchos.
There are some ads, but not many.
All right, some really good structures. Also, we were looking at el haber, el hay, right? And that's, again, an easy structure when we're in the present tense, but it can get really complicated. There should have been. Toma. Wow. I mean, that is a big verb right there. There should have been. Debería haber habido. I don't even know if I said it right in Spanish. All right. Well, here's what I want from you guys. Now, the first one, they use the word autovía. I want you, that's an easy one, to use the word autovía. Now, be aware that there are two different ways to say it. There's the British way and the American way. You can use whatever one you want, but yeah, that's the first one, autovía. You call them in Spain. The next one is a double trouble. All right, are you ready for this one? You got to use the same word twice in this one. ¿Hay gallumbos en tu cajón? ¿Hay gallumbos o calzoncillos en tu cajón? All right, that is a double trouble. I did that on purpose. The same word is repeated twice. You know how double trouble works. Don't worry, we're still going to have our double trouble section, but here's a bonus double trouble. So, ¿hay gallumbos en tu cajón? Is number 2. And number 3, vamos a mirar el de quién, because this is a very confusing structure. So, ¿sabes ¿De quién es este pijama? Okay, so let me make sure I've got it right in Spanish. ¿Sabes de quién es este pijama? No ese, este de aquí. So again, there's a big difference between this, that, these, those. Right? Sometimes you guys, this happens a lot. You focus on, oh, let me make sure I get the structure right, but it's not the same to say los que están aquí, los que están ahí. So, ¿sabes de quién es este pijama? All right. So there you go, folks. Some difficult, that third one, careful with that third one. I'm warning you now. The same way the first one, you just need to use a word in context. The second one's a little more complicated, but it's doable. That third one's got a little trick to it. So good luck, amigos. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with more. So stick around. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name. We're learning, we're laughing, we're playing, and I hope you're interacting with us. Whether you're tuned in live or whether you're listening to the podcast, these challenges are for you. I want to work on different structures, vocabulary, and make sure you know what you need to know. And if you listen to this program and all the other amazing programs, you are going to be head and shoulders above the rest. Un peldaño o dos peldaños por encima de los demás. That's right, folks. Head and shoulders. De ahí viene HES, el champú. I've told you this before. It's a brilliant name. Because head and shoulders, well, that's where you get dandruff, caspa, right? On your head and on your shoulders. But also, the shampoo, not shampoo, in English is shampoo is head and I mean, it's brilliant. It's like Pascual Funciona. You're like, oh, wow, good name. I like what you did there. So we're always playing with words. And don't forget, you can learn a lot, even at the supermarket. Well, how do you say mecha? Let's start with that one. It's a really difficult word. You're like, mecha? I know how to say perro. I know how to say coche, but mecha? Well, you know these air fresheners que parecen que huelen a vela, pero no es una vela? What is it called? Air wick? Well, you know what air means. And wick? Well, that's the mecha. Mecha de aire. Yeah, and you'll never forget it. If you've ever seen this product, air wick, then you'll know a candle has a wick. So, and I'm telling you, you can walk down any aisle at your grocery store. That's how we say supermarket. And you'll learn. Bitter cas, come on. ¿A qué sabe? Amarguísimo, ¿no? White label, que no se dice así, white label. ¿De qué color es la etiqueta? Blanca. Bueno, te lo dicen, white label. Or Johnny Walker, red label, blue label, black. I mean, can't be clearer than that. So, as I said at the beginning of the show, if you've got your eyes wide open, you'll find English everywhere. That's not just the name of my book, my first book, but it's also a philosophy. All right, my amigos, let me give you the Say What soundbite here for the second time, and then we'll check your answers. I see we've got a lot of participation, which is awesome. Here we go. The Say What soundbite for the second time.
Cole?
And what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes?
Wedding present.
Wouldn't it have been simpler to have it sent over? Well, you said you had something to say.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports, but I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Baugantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. You can get This Book is the Shit at vaughantienda.com. You can also pick up the translation book with 6,000, or as you know, 24,000. 6 times 4, right? So as I said, it's not 6, because you know that you can turn each of those sentences into 4. The question, the direct question, the direct question, the indirect question, the negative, and the affirmative sentence. Then you know that you really know the structure, like we looked at yesterday with there is. Yeah, muy bien, there is, pero como decimos que no hay, there isn't. Okay, y la pregunta is there. Y la pregunta indirecta, do you know if there's, right? So you need to know those like the back of your hand. And I don't mean know them on paper. I mean know how to say them. You know, where you say them and it's second nature. You can't say it wrong because you've said it so many times. It's like if I asked you right now, how do you say cuál es tu nombre? What's your name, right? No, what is your name? It's what's. We contract. What's your name? Okay, vamos a ponerlo en la indirecta. ¿Sabes cuál es tu nombre? Hombre, tendrías que tener amnesia, pero do you know what your name is? ¿Ves? Tenías que a lo mejor pensar un poco más ahí, right? Do you know what your name is? Right? So that's what we're looking for. ¿Qué es? ¿Qué es? What is it? What is it? La indirecta? Do you know what it is? No, it is. It is. Do you know what it is? So you want to have the same speed, the same agility with the direct question or the affirmative as you do with the negative, as you do with the indirect question. And that's what we call mastery of the language. All right, let's go on over to our virtual chat room. I see we've got a lot of students checking in, ready to rock. All right, Elena, front row center in our classroom today. She says, hello, awesome show with no namers. Here we are, all geared up for another show, double A. There's a totally native. Yeah, geared up. Listos. To be geared up. Que tienes el equipo listo. Excellent idiomatic expression or phrasal verb. Call it what you will. It's totally native. Let's see. There's lovely Laura. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. I'm thrilled to be able to spend 2 magical hours with you. And it reminds me of an expression, Laura. I'm thrilled to the gills. Gills are what fish use to breathe. How do you say gills? Gills. Branquias, no bronquias. Me va a echar una bronca, las branquias. So, yeah, branquias. So, dices, ¿qué? Es porque rima. It's like, I'm drunk as a skunk. Las mofetas no beben. Más pedo que Alfredo. Well, I know a couple Alfredos, and some of them don't even drink. So a lot of times we choose an expression or because of its rhyming there. So I'm thrilled to the gills to be able to spend 2 magical hours with you. And I'll tell you something, with y'all. Oh, okay, I see. Y'all is, I think, Y-A apostrophe L-L. With y'all. You all. With y'all. Well, you sound like you're from the South. Now, how do we say it in New York? With yous. Now, that's wrong. Don't copy it, but I say it. I'm like, what are yous doing? Instead of what are you? Because yous tiene toda la lógica del mundo, but again, sometimes language isn't always logical. So great to have you, Elena and Laura. There's Chris Valrol. She says, hi, wonderful show with no namers. Hello, Chris, and welcome aboard. Born to Iron Man. Morning, friends. Morning, rock star. I know you. You've been doing push-ups since 6:30 this morning. Flexiones, is that how you say it? Push-ups. Yeah, well, I know you, man. You train hard. You always bring your A game, especially to the spelling bee. Although, we still haven't heard from you in the question of the week. Don't think I haven't noticed. I play dumb, me hago el tonto, but I pay attention to everything. I can't help it. No lo puedo evitar. I'm cursed with that my whole life. I notice things that aren't even real sometimes because I'm like, maybe that's just my imagination because I'm paying too much attention sometimes, even though I seem aloof. Aloof. A-L-O-O-F. Distante, apartado, en otro mundo. Aloof. Right? Aloof. I like that word. It's a funny word. All right. Let's see. Chris Valrol has got something to say. She says, well, I understood it better. She's talking about the Say What soundbite. Well, I understood it better yesterday thanks to the pronunciation. And because I spent some time with my old math teachers last weekend at a celebration. Oh, so today's was tougher. That's interesting. Because yesterday's, I don't even know if I would have gotten it. Laura says, I heard an excerpt from an American movie. Correct. It's from a movie in which a lady is trying to find out the real reason why a man is paying her a visit. Love is in the air, perhaps? Absolutely. Spot on, Laura. Spot on. Elena says, a weird conversation. I can't really put my finger on it, but a woman asking a man what brings him over there. Correct? And to put your, no puedo exactar, averiguar del todo. I can't put my finger on it. Wow, Elena, you are throwing idiomatic expressions all around on today's show. You know I love it. So, yeah, absolutely. Good observations. Chris says, today I heard an American girl and a boy. They're talking about a mission, something or someone who was sent over and has something to say. Excellent. All right. Well, let's check your pop quiz answers. Again, they're coming from our translation book, 6,000 sentences, or as I said, 24,000. 6 times 4, 24. Well, 24,000 sentences and structures that you can master. And, well, a couple things. They said, señor, señora. How do we say señor? Mr., right? Señor Alonso, Mr. Alonso, que se escribe M-R. Punto. Okay, señora. Mrs. M-R-S. Punto. Okay, what about M-S. Punto? Esto es cuando no sabemos si alguien está casado o no. We don't know their marital status. We say Ms. Ms. Es que tiene una Z. So, Mr., Mrs., and Ms. Okay? And how do we say in a polite way, what would be our usted? Sir, excuse me, not sir. Yeah, sir or ma'am, perdona. Ma'am es corto para madam. So, perdone, en vez de perdona, if you wanted to say perdone, we don't change the verb tense, but you could be formal. Excuse me, sir, can I help you? Right, that way you're showing respect. Excuse me, ma'am, I have a question. So, sir or ma'am, otra vez es corto para madam, those are, man, that's our usted. That's the best way I can describe that. And what about any and some? Every time we use there is, there are, there was, there were, there should have been, we use any and some. So when do we use some? We use some in affirmative sentences. I bought some flowers. Ahí no pondríamos any. I bought some flowers. Offers. Would you like some coffee? Okay, this is si estamos ofreciendo algo. Would you like some chocolate? I've got some chocolate over here. Okay. Also requests. Okay. Can I have some salt, please? We wouldn't use any there. So offers, requests, affirmative sentences, and questions where we believe the answer to be yes. So do you have some money for me? Because if I say, do you have any money for me? There's no implication that you should. But if I say, do you have some money for me? It means I'm expecting a yes. Okay. So there is a time when you can use them in questions, the some. But normally we use any with questions, right? Most questions. Is there any milk left? Right here, we don't know, right? Negative sentences. I didn't buy any flowers. I bought some chocolate. I didn't buy any flowers. Also, when it doesn't matter which one. Oh, you can take any bus, any cualquiera in this case. All right, so that's any and some in a nutshell, en resumidas cuentas. All right, let's see what you guys had to say with our pop quiz answers. Let's see. Soledad says, do you know whose pajama is this one? Nope. Además, has puesto who is. O sea, son homófonos. Who's your dad? ¿Quién es tu padre? He's the one whose car is parked out front. El de quién su coche. So, whose car is that? Who's your dad? Suenan igual. Uno es de quién y uno es quién es. So you're using the right sound, pero es el whose, Soledad. And pajamas, in English, pajamas, that's a plural all the time. Por eso os dije, ten cuidado con esa última. You say pijama, right? We don't. We say pajamas. And you can write it with an A or with a Y in English. Pajamas or P con Y. So la segunda letra, digo, puede ser A o Y. El segundo ya es amas. Okay? So pajamas, it says here in the US, we write pajamas with an A, and in England, it's pajamas with a Y, but they're pronounced the same, pajamas. You know how I say them? I say it to my daughter every night. Honey, we got to put on your PJs. Yeah, PJs. Pero ¿qué pasa? Siempre en plural, right? PJ. I don't say your PJ, your PJs, your pajamas, right? So be careful with that one. Soledad, no problem. Hey, now you know. Whose, de quién es whose, as you guys say in Spanish, and pajamas. Y eso significaría que la segunda parte tendría que estar en plural. All right, let's see if anybody else got it here. Elena says, you've got to pay the toll on the highway. Great. Toll, peaje. It's also part of the expression to take its toll. Pasar factura. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before. This love has taken its toll on me. Sing it 3 times y nunca se te va a olvidar. Me ha pasado factura. It's taken its toll. Great. So you've got to pay the toll on the highway. Very good. The next one. Are there any drawers in the drawer? You got it. So drawers, es otra forma de decir gallumbos, calzoncillos, underwear. Now my wife wears panties. I don't. Yeah, I'm comfortable with underwear, right? So underwear is everything, right? It's the whole category. But the ones that women wear, which are usually more, more elaborate, more, they're nicely designed. Where men, it's just cotton, And so those are called panties. So bragas, panties, and drawers or underwear are gallumbos, calzoncillos, you say. So are there any drawers in the drawer? Excellent. You got it. And the last one, do you know whose pajamas these are? You got the structure right. Just be careful. No es con I latina. Es con A o con Y a la británica. Okay? So te cambiamos esa I latina por una A. Yes, perfecto. Great job, Elena. All right, let's see. Laura says, well, if you don't agree with me, it's my way or the highway. Hey, stop reading my mind. My way or the highway. Te lo traduzco. O lo hacemos de mi manera o la puta carretera. Hey, mira, rima. Hey, I never thought of it that way. My way or the highway. If you know Limp Bizkit, they've got a song, My Way or the Highway, My Way or the Highway. Great song, by the way. So you read my mind when I wrote the word highway as one of the pop quiz questions. The expression my way or the highway came to mind. It's definitely, as a parent, you need to know that one. Like, yeah, but why? Because it's my way or the highway. Okay, o te largas. Great job, Laura. All right, the next one. Are there any drawers in your drawer? Perfect. And the last one. Do you know whose pajamas these are? Muy bien. In English, plural. Elena and Laura didn't fall into that singular trap, where in Spanish you say pijama, right? Entonces, pero claro, tiene que hacer juego la segunda parte. Not is it. Tendría que ser are they, right? So excellent job, ladies. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says you can drive from Valencia to Madrid taking the freeway the whole way. Sure. The freeway, the highway, the motorway, if you're British. And usually a parkway, it's another way to say it, but a parkway is usually a toll road, donde hay que pagar uno de peaje, right? A parkway. And the irony of English is you park in a driveway and you drive on the parkway, right? Seguro que hemos mirado esto. So you drive on the parkway, en una autovía de peaje, and you park in the driveway, pues el trozo de delante de tu garaje donde puedes aparcar tu coche. Right, that's called your driveway, where you park. Yeah, somebody was having a laugh there. All right, and the next one, he says, are there any drawers in your drawer? Yes. And the last one, do you know whose jammies these are? Me vale. Jammies, pajamas, PJs, pero siempre en plural. All right, let's take a look over here. Laura says gold. Okay. Laura's taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. Well, I'll tell you something. The only thing that looks wrong, and she said it, I'm not sure about the first word, is that first word, but the rest looks great. The first word is cold. Frío. So, casi. Cold? Well, no, yeah, now you guys have given you that first word. I want to see more people try and figure out today's Say What soundbite. So excellent job, Laura. Wow, after 2 listens, she was able to nail it. All right, let's see what else we've got over here. Chris Valrol says, the highway is supposedly free. Yeah, that's what they say. Excellent job. The next one, are there any drawers in your drawer? Absolutely. Y fijaos, I'm not saying drawer. Es raro. Drawers, right? Hay muchos, nos comemos mucho ahí, right? It's not drawers, it's drawers. Drawers. Okay. And the last one, do you know whose pajamas these are? Excellent. And remember, there are a lot of words like that as well. I can't think of, tell me the new. He oído muchas veces. No, tell me the news. Siempre lleva ese. Otro que es parecido, que es singular en español, pero en inglés siempre es plural. Sopranos is my favorite series. I watch a lot of series. O sea, en singular y en plural es con ese, right? Y sé que hay otros. Advice. Ahí tienes otro. Dame unos consejos. Give me some advice. We don't say advices. Advice in English is uncountable. So take note, because those are 3 or 4, and I think maybe they're about, let's say, 15, 20 words in this category where you guys make it a singular and we make it a plural, or vice versa. But if you know them, then you'll be aware and you won't fall into those traps. Amigos, I can't believe it. We have got to go to a quick commercial break. We are halfway through the show. We are flying over here. So much to do. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our homophones. We'll check out our Say What soundbite as well. We've got our news report. We've also got our spelling bee. Man, so much to do. Famous birthdays, name that lyric, double trouble, so many challenges, so many things to learn after this quick commercial break. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the second half of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Hell yeah. Don't forget to take advantage of our special offers going on right now. You can get a €600 discount. That's out of this world. Extraordinario. €600? I know what I could do with it. Get the Bono Parques. Well, there are 3 of us, and they're around €200 per year. So I already know what I'm spending the money on. It's already spent. But you only have until the 30th of November, 2025. Also, the cursos intensivos de inglés por semanas. And you can get up to a 30% discount on our cursos intensivos de inglés por semanas. 30% off. But that's going to run out, acabar, before, because you only have until November 16th to take advantage of this special offer. November 16th, 2025. Again, if you're in the group, I just shared the link with you, so it's just one click away. A un solo click. But hurry up, because time is running out. I'm sure we'll have other special deals, too, for the holidays. So, again, the best thing you can do is follow us on social media. Well, us. Follow Vaughn. You don't have to follow me because I don't really use it anymore. But I do check it from time to time just to see if anybody from the show, you guys, students, are reaching out, but I don't scroll. No estoy ahí todo el día mirando anymore. I can't. It just takes too much out of me. I feel after I've looked at social media for like 10 minutes, I feel like a zombie. I feel like it's just draining my brain cells out of my head. So follow Vaughn, though, and I'm sure you'll be able to find out about all the special deals going on. Also, you'll get content. I believe they share videos and stuff. I say I believe because I don't even know if I follow them. Well, I think about it. I follow like roller coaster stuff, and again, then I don't even use social media. So I did at one point. I really enjoyed it at the beginning when it was about connecting with people, but now it's about reading ads and being spammed and just mindless stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's my algorithm of the night. All right. Okay. It's the algorithm of the night. All right, folks. It's time for our homophones on the show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. Eddie Vedder. Show with no name. Show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. Show it no name. All right, my amigos, let's take a look at today's homophones or not. I want you to tell me the two words and tell me if they sound exactly the same or not. All right, the first word, God rest her soul. I got to do it. God rest her soul. My grandma's name. My Italian, my Sicilian grandma's name. Okay. It's also my aunt's name as well, because my aunt was named after her mother. Okay. It also means elegance, right? Gracia or elegancia. It's also God's mercy, la gracia o merced de Dios. It's also what we say cuando bendecimos la mesa, right? Before you eat, if you're religious, you say, let's say, Well, that's another way. In fact, that was always the joke at my grandma's house, because my family, Catholic, we're Italian, we're Spanish. You don't really have a choice there. And someone would always say, oh, di tal. And then someone would say, oh, isn't that grandma's name? So obviously there's always a joke there as well. It's also excelencia, right? So su excelencia se presentó en la corte real la semana pasada. Okay. También es adornar. También es honrar. Yeah, I was going to say honorar, right? So it's a pretty rich word there. If you haven't heard it before, you will know it. All right. Well, maybe you won't know it. We'll see in a moment. All right. And the second word is when animals eat. Okay. Pastar, you say. Okay. It also is to scrape your skin. So raspar, rasguñar. También es, raspar, rozar, rasguñar. Okay? And it's also the noun, rasguño, roce. Okay? So there you go. Oh, and we also tell it means also picotear, pinchar. Piénsalo, es como un juego de pastar. Estoy picoteando, pinchando algo aquí. All right, those are your two words. A, what are the words? And B, do those two words sound exactly the same? And when I say exactly the same, I mean, if I say it without context, you have no idea which word I'm saying. Like two. Did I just say el número dos? Or did I say también? Right? So that's a perfect, or C. Sí, puede ser la letra C, puede ser el mar, o puede ser ver. Sin contexto, no sabemos. That's a homophone. All right? And also, let me give you the say what soundbite for the third time. We've just established that first word is cold. Here we go.
Cold.
And what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes?
Wedding present.
Wouldn't it have been simpler to have it sent over? Well, you said you had something to say.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, folks, Vaughn Town. And who knows, stay tuned. Don't quote me here, but you may find some deals on Vaughn Town coming up. Because remember, we've got Black Friday, blah, 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 blah. I'm sick of it already. In fact, every day Amazon's Black Friday. I'm like, no, it's not yet. and Bono, it's Black Friday. I'm like, it is? Like, are we going to start doing it like Christmas? We're going to celebrate Black Friday 6 months before? Okay. But either way, call it what you will. Now's the time when a lot of deals come out. I mean, I'm seeing deals I get from Logitravel or Viajes Corte Inglés, and they're like, mira, 500 euros for a week in Canarias, all included with flights. And I'm like, oh, that's not a bad deal. Again, if it was something you were thinking about doing already, now's the time. Right now is definitely the time, not just here at Vaughn, but whatever you're looking for, because from now to Christmas, you'll see a lot of deals going on. And I hate that word Black Friday. It sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous, but I'll take the deal nonetheless. No, me aferro a la oferta. I'll take that. All right, let's take a look at the words we've got here in today's homophones. The first, actually, let me read this comment. Chris Valrol says, Laura is the cat's pajamas. You guys smell that? It's a totally native. La bomba, la pera limonera, the cat's pajamas. You know another way to say that? Las pelotas del perro. Sí, los huevos del perro, the dog's bollocks. Now that one's very British, by the way. You won't hear an American say, that's the dog's bollocks, mate. No. But it is funny. Los huevos del perro. Y el pijama del gato significa la bomba. Well, you say la leche, the milk, which again, with my books, my American friends were like, I don't get it. What does it mean? This book is the milk. Like I had to do some explaining because they're like, it's a literal translation, obviously. Now, finally, on the third one, we got it right. This book is the shit. Es como se diría de verdad. Esa expresión. Now, shit is vulgar, so you can always say this is the bomb, this is the bee's knees, this is the cat's pajamas. Hey, there are many ways. This is awesome. Te vale también, es muy americano. Awesome. This is awesome. So great, very punny, Chris, and I love it that you not only use the expression, but you found the right moment to use it as well. All right, Laura gives us the two words correctly, and she says they don't sound alike. All right. Born to Iron Man agrees. Chris Valrol agrees. And Elena agrees. So if all four of you agree, oh, wow. I don't know what to say. I trust you guys. Even if I didn't, let's say I didn't know the answer and I had to vote now as a student, I would vote the same as you guys. That's how much I trust you. Well, I'm glad I trust you because you're right. They're not homophones. So let's start with Grace. So my grandma's name is a very common name, Grace. Okay. Grace, which could be elegance
Here's a good way to remember it. Grace Kelly had a lot of grace. Tuvo mucha elegancia. True story, right? The actress Grace Kelly had a lot of grace. She was very, para usar el adjetivo, graceful, right? Grace Kelly was graceful. She had a lot of grace, elegancia. Did she have God's grace? I don't know if she was religious, but I know she said grace every time she had something to eat. So the expression bendecir la mesa or la comida is to say grace. So obviously the joke at my grandma's house was, Linda, do you want to say grace? Okay, grace. Also, his grace, your grace, su excelencia, right? Also, as another usage of it is honrar. Many, many people have graced this stage. All right. So to grace something. Great. Also, fall from grace, right? Caída en desgracia would be fall from grace. By the grace of God. There before the grace of God. Ay. My saving grace. Mi salvación. Lo que me salva. My saving grace. Okay. So, really good word, grace. It rhymes with place. Dilo conmigo. It rhymes with ace, un as. It rhymes with mace, este spray de pimienta que usan. Shh, right? Mace, trace, trazar o rastro. Okay, and the second word is graze. Graze, right? The cows grazed, es verbo regular, all day long. The bullet grazed his arm, right? To graze, raspar, rasguñar, rozar, graze. So there it is, folks. You nailed it. Graze rhymes with maze, laberinto. Rhymes with phase, fase. Rhymes with ways, caminos, right? Or formas. So excellent job, show with no namers. Also, excellent job, Elena. She rocked it. So we've got Laura and Elena with today's Say What soundbite. But right now, it's time to move on to real review.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this?
Real reviews.
Real reviews found online.
Real reviews.
It was unbelievably painful.
All right, my amigos. Oh, wait. Jackpot. Ooh, how do you say jackpot? Jackpot is el gordo. I hit the jackpot. El premio gordo, el bote. Jackpot. I hit the jackpot. Me tocó el gordo. Well, today we are going to lovely, and I say that in air quotes. It's not necessarily the best adjective to describe it. Maybe I should say lively Las Vegas. That's right. Now, if you've been there, you'll know the place is it's set up as a money grab. A money grab está hecho para coger tu dinero. I mean, if you've seen the movie Casino, they say it. He goes, all of this, the lights, the showgirls, the buffets, the comps, las cosas gratis, the complimentary things. It's all designed for one reason, to take your money. So, FYI, if you're going to Vegas, be careful. It's not just the thieves in the street who are trying to pickpocket you. It's the big corporations that run, obviously, all of these hotels, resorts, and casinos. So let's see. We're going to a famous hotel. It's very famous in Las Vegas. And let's see what people had to say about it on today's Real Reviews. The room that I first checked into smelled horrible and had pubic hair on the floor of the bathroom and sink. Gross. See, I mean, we know the difference between a hair and a pubic hair. Pubic hair means it comes from somebody's private parts, right? So then the person says, there was long black hair over the phone in the room and one of the beds. So there was pubic hair and the hair on someone's head. Nice. A hairy situation. Hairy situation, una situación difícil. All right. All right. So there was a long black hair over the phone in the room and on one of the beds. I called for it to get cleaned up. Llamé para que vinieran a limpiarlo. They said right away, enseguida. We left the room from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Nothing got cleaned. Went back out again and came back at 11 p.m. Again, nothing was cleaned. I called for a room change, un cambio de habitaciones, and they said, not a problem. They will send a bellhop up. A bellhop, you say botones, okay? A bellhop or bellboy, but bellhop puede ser para chico o chica. A bellhop up with our new keys and take the luggage. On the phone, they assured me it would take 15 minutes. 20 minutes goes by, so I call them. And the company, no digo el nombre, lo ponen aquí, said the bellhop is getting on the elevator and headed up right now as we speak. 40 more minutes go by and nothing. So it sounded like they were giving this person the runaround, dándole largas, right? So now it's been an hour and I call again. It's midnight and I'm calling a third time. Now imagine this is a nightmare. Like, I just want this to be cleaned. And then once they didn't clean it, I would have asked for a new room right away. I'd be like, I don't want it cleaned. I want a clean room, but I want it to be clean from the get-go. Desde el primer momento. And the company said that the bellhop should be getting off the elevator. That must be their script, su guión ahí. 30 more minutes go by, and I have to walk to the front desk, the lobby, the front desk, the reception desk, and ask for my keys to my new room. Finally, I get my new keys at 1 a.m., a la una de la madrugada. This took them 2 hours. The worst Las Vegas hotel I've ever stayed at. Circus is better and cleaner. And Circus, well, that has a reputation for being one of the cheaper ones. But what they're saying is even the cheaper ones are better than this supposed nice one. Here's another one. Same place. Stayed here for the first time as a local since they had good rates. Okay, buenos precios, good rates. And a local, pues eres de ahí. Big mistake. The property is the worst on the Las Vegas Strip. The Strip is la franja principal, okay? They have so many promotions that the employees aren't even knowledgeable about them. O sea, ni los empleados saben las ofertas que hay. Offer no resort fees. Ofrecen now because there's something where they offer now. We'll waive, quitar, the resort fee, which is otro estafa. So you're charging me $150 for the room and then $50 for the resort fee? Horario del resort? What does that mean? It says, and only if you book a certain promo. And now they charge hotel guests for parking. O sea, te cobran el parking aparte. With a third-party company, Metropolis, un tercero. Now, this company, no digo el nombre, doesn't take any responsibility for parking issues and doesn't care, right? They pass the buck, pasan el marrón, as we say. They offer $100 food credit that they say you can only use at a specific restaurant, although you can use it at any of their restaurants. So it sounds like communication here, real communication problems. And says, but none of the employees know how that promo works and where it can be used. No wonder this property has been tanking. Okay? No me sorprende que esta propiedad va cuesta abajo. It's tanking, fracasando. The worst, this company, property ever. I do not recommend it. So there you go, folks. All that glitters isn't gold, even in Las Vegas, especially in Las Vegas. All right, folks, time for today's Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. All aboard, all aboard. This is round one of today's Spelling Bee. Are you ready? Here we go. I am going to fly through this. The first one is ELLIS space ISLAND. The second one is NEW space YORK space HARBOR. The third one, some years, 1892 to 1954. The fourth one is 12 million space IMMIGRANTS. The fifth one is RENAISSANCE space REVIVAL. And the last one is LIBERTY space ISLAND. God, that was fast. And we had some years in there, some numbers. Oh, lots of information in today's Spelling Bee. Well, don't worry. I can only give you another really 10, 15 seconds, because if not, we've got to get into round two, or I won't have time before the commercial break. So going once, going twice. Okay, here we go. The first one is ELLIS space ISLAND. The second one, NEW space YORK space HARBOR. The third one is 1892 to 1954. Se puede hacer con guión, ¿no? The fourth one, 12 million space IMMIGRANTS. The fifth one is RENAISSANCE space REVIVAL. And the last one is LIBERTY space ISLAND. Folks, it looks like we have a winner. It's Born to Spelling Bee. Looks right. We'll check your answers after this quick commercial break, folks. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 4 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Wow. I see we've got a lot of students who have figured out our spelling bee. Great job, too. Born to Iron Man, Laura, Chris Valrol. Yeah, so born to Iron Man. Okay. Oh, I see. You didn't get it right the first time. Digo, ¿por qué veo dos tuyos? Okay. So the first time, you were missing 10 million. That's not the same. 2 million and 12 million. Hey, I hope you're not my banker. Bueno, si lo haces al revés, sí. So great job, Born to Iron Man, Laura and Chris Valrol. Excellent job. Well, today's words had to do with Ellis Island. Have you heard of Ellis Island? I wouldn't exist without Ellis Island. Why? Well, from 1892 to 1954, that was number 3. Well, Ellis Island was where all the immigrants, all 12 million, eso es número 4, came into the United States. That was the port of entry. So my family from Sicily, from Naples, not from Spain. I believe at that time when my family came from Spain, Ellis Island was already closed. It closed today in 1954. Well, it closed as a port. Now it's open as a museum. It's quite interesting because it shows you, well, the experience that the immigrants went through when they came to the United States. A lot of them were on boats in, well, dismal conditions, but those conditions were better than what they had at home. So they were coming to the new world with hope, with, hope. Really, that's the word, hope and a dream. And many of them made that dream come true. In fact, I remember, going with my grandma in the car and saying, "You see that school? My father built that school. You see that tunnel? My father built that tunnel." So, a lot of these immigrants built New York City and all these areas up and made it the United States that we know today. And not just Italian immigrants, obviously Irish and all different Polish immigrants as well, who came in. And if they came in from 1892 to 1954, then they came in through Ellis Island. That was number 1. Number 1 was Ellis Island. Number 2, New York Harbor. That's that area of the water, because you've got the East River and the Hudson River. But down south, that little area around Liberty Island and Ellis Island. Liberty Island is where the Statue of Liberty is. They're pretty much next to each other. You can probably throw a stone from Ellis Island to Liberty Island, but they're different places, right? You have to take a ferry to either one, to Ellis Island or Liberty Island. I highly recommend both if you're going to go out to the United States, especially if you have family that moved there. Ellis Island, I just remember I went when I was maybe 18 or 19. And I just remember it was a very moving experience for me, knowing that my family came from other places. And I was imagining my great grandpa, mi bisabuelo, and all of them coming through those gates over there. And it ceased operations today in 1954. Again, so the third one was 1892 to 1954. The fourth one was 12 million immigrants. That's how many immigrants were processed through this center. Number 5, Renaissance Revival. That is the architectural style of the building. It's beautiful. If you Google Ellis Island, con dos L's, okay. It's Renaissance Revival. And the 6th one was Liberty Island, which is, again, a separate island. But if you're going to go there, you might as well visit both. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can buy a ticket to see Ellis and Liberty Island. It's kind of like a package that you can get as well. I'd love to bring my daughter there one day and show her, well, this is where our history in the United States began, right here. The boats came here, and these immigrants came and were looking for a better life, and it all started here. And, they would process the people. They had doctors there that would check them to make sure they weren't bringing in any diseases and things. So, just kind of an official register. Now they do this at an airport. Now it's called aduana, customs, right? But back then, that was where they processed everyone who was coming in from Europe and other places when they came in and they crossed the Atlantic Ocean. So excellent job to my superstars. All right, are you ready for today's triple trouble?
Double trouble.
No,
baby.
triple, I said.
Yeah. You know
All
what
right, we'll
time
change
it
the
is.
song.
Give it up.
Triple trouble. I said triple trouble. Triple trouble. I said double trouble. All right, folks. Well, this first one I had to look up in Spanish. Not the word, but the structure. Porque digo, ¿y qué preposición? ¿Cómo se pone esta estructura en español? So, warning, it's different. Okay? Porque yo lo hubiese dicho diferente. I would have said it differently. So be careful with the first part, not with the word, but with the way we put the sentence together, the prepositions and all that. Okay? So, ¿quieres apostar al partido? I wouldn't have said al partido, right? So I would have said sobre el partido. Maybe that works too. ¿Quieres apostar sobre el partido o al partido? And the other person says, claro que sí. Eso es nuestra mejor opción. You've got to use the same word 3 times. Hey, apostar. We were just talking about Las Vegas. Was that done on purpose? Yeah, definitely. So, ¿quieres apostar sobre el partido o al partido? Que yo nunca lo hubiese dicho así, pero bueno, word reference tampoco me fío, ¿eh? So, ¿quieres apostar al partido? Claro que sí. Eso es nuestra mejor opción. You've got to use the same word 3 times in today's triple trouble. Good luck, my amigos. I'm sure somebody's going to get it. I'd say even 2 or 3 of you are going to figure it out today. All right, that's double trouble. Let me also give you today's Say What soundbite. We've already got Laura and Elena who have figured it out. Let's see if anybody else can get it. Here it is for the 4th time.
Cole?
And what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes?
Wedding present?
Wouldn't it have been simpler to have it sent over? Well, you said you had something to say.
First things first, how you machines doing? You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good. Let's take a picture. Quick question. ¿Cómo se dice emocionar en inglés?
To emotionate.
No. Think of Michael Jackson. Una pista de audio. It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
It's Thriller.
That's right. So emocionar is to
Thrill.
Eso es. And this book is the shit will thrill you. It's thrilling.
Sí, señor. This book is the shit. El inglés que no sabías que sabías. 1000 nuevas palabras para tu colección. De la mano de Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Now we're talking. That's right, folks. You can pick up This Book is the Shit and many other amazing materials at vaughntienda.com. You can go to our main website, grupovaughn.com, and you'll have access to the store, the radio station, everything you're looking for. Also, if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, well, we'd love to have you stop Bye. All right, let's take a look over here. We've got a triple trouble. I've got a lot of people taking a stab at it over here. So let's see how we did. All right, Elena, she says, do you want to bet on the party? Oh, I should have cleared that up. Partido como the game, no el partido político. Bueno, pero vamos a ver si el resto. Let's see. So, could say que vayan a perder o ganar, right? So, do you want to bet on the party? I bet that's our best bet. I bet es supongo que sí. I bet he's hungry. Supongo que. So, I bet it wouldn't be, right? Because this is claro que sí, not supongo. So mira cómo cambia en decir I bet versus el que busco. I bet you haven't studied. Supongo que, right? It's not apuesto in that. So, pero es parecido, solo cambiamos el sujeto. All right. And the last part is great. That's our best bet. Eso es nuestra mejor opción. That's our best bet. So the first part is great. Do you want to bet on? Te cambio party por game, porque es la que quería decir, aunque no lo dije. Do you want to bet on? So to bet on something. ¿Ves? Yo hubiese dicho, ¿quieres postar en el partido? And digo, no sé si es así. And it said here, al partido. So do you want to bet on the game? Good. And that's our best bet is great. There's one word in there, and then Okay, let's see. Chris Valrol, do you want to bet on the game? I bet. Supongo que sí. Pero estamos con el claro que sí, right? La persona está dando la respuesta. Claro que sí. So think of it as a conversation. Uno dice, do you want to bet on the game? Y el otro, claro que sí. Es nuestra mejor opción. Okay. So the first and second part is perfect. And we're still, that middle one is the one that everybody's having difficulty with. Not much. We're just one word off here. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. Do you want to bet on the game? Bet. That's our best bet. Nope. No es bet a secas. Tampoco. Okay. Let's see. Laura, do you want to bet on the game? You betcha. That's our best bet. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Laura. Now, y no tienes que decir con you tampoco. You bet. So no es I bet. Because I bet es supongo que tal. I bet he's going to be happy to see us. Right? Aunque dices apuesto, no es apostar. Right? Pero si alguien te dice, you want to get some ice cream? You bet. Or you bet you. Que de hecho se dice, you betcha. Yeah, you betcha. O sea, el you es cha. Ahí al final. Right? Ya que se convierte en cha. Pero nos vale you bet you or sin el segundo you. You bet. Claro que sí. So, do you want to bet on the game? You bet. Or you bet you. Or you betcha. That's our best bet. Ladies and gentlemen, knocking it out of the park. Laura. You guys came close there, but there's a difference in meaning. There's definitely a slight difference in meaning there. Let's see. Look at Chris. I bet the farm, me ha puesto todo, that my mates are going to nail it. All right, Elena, now you got it. Do you want to bet on the game? You bet. That's our best bet. So to bet on something, you bet. Claro que sí. And that's our best bet. Nuestra mejor opuesta, nuestra mejor opción, realmente. Excellent job. I'm glad I always bet on you guys. Are you guys awesome? You betcha, or you bet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the movies. Name that movie. All right, here we go, folks. We don't have too much time, so we're going to fly through this. Mia Thermopolis has just found out that she is the heir apparent to the throne of Genovia. My daughter will know this one in 1 second, just with Genovia. With her friends Lily and Michael Moskovitz in tow, she tries to navigate through the rest of her 16th year. Okay, the heir apparent, aunque tenga una H, la palabra heir, H-E-I, no, H-E-I-R, heir es heredero. So, heredero natural. Príncipe o princesa heredera. Okay, the heir apparent. Okay, so Mia Thermopolis has just found out that she's the heir apparent to the throne of Genovia, with her friends Lily and Michael Moscovitz in tow. O sea, en remolque, con ella, acompañándole, in tow. Okay, she tries to navigate through the rest of her 16th year. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Please give it up for our movie queen, Chris Valrol. The movie is The Princess Diaries. That's right, The Princess Diaries. And it came out in the year 2001. And it stars Julie Andrews and Anne Hathaway. Chris says here it's called Princesa por Sorpresa. Hey, I like it. This is the first time, I think, I've ever chosen a Spanish translation over the original. Princesa, you know me, I love my rhyming. So Princesa por Sorpresa sounds better than The Princess Diaries. All right, and it's the same director who directed Pretty Woman and Runaway Bride. Novia a la fuga? I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's what we call it, Runaway Bride. All right, let's take a look at the scene over here. Mia, mine, no. One of my daughter's best friends is Mia. And I remember the first day she goes, my friend, mine. I'm like, honey, we don't own our friends. She goes, no, that's her name, mine. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, Mia. I'm like, okay. So here, this is a voiceover, voz en off. Dear Diary, esto es cuando escribimos en el diario. Today is my first official day as Princess of Genovia. We'll land in a few hours, aterrizaremos, and I'll meet Parliament and the people before beginning my royal duties. Mom is, of course, moving to Genovia with me. And we'll continue painting without the balloons, sin globos. Lily and Michael, her friends that are in tow, are planning to spend their summer vacation at our, can you believe it, palace. They're even having my Mustang brought over, which I can legally drive in 2 weeks. O sea, están haciendo que traigan mi coche, mi cochazo, Mustang, the Ford Mustang. Grandma's so glad to be going home. And Joseph, well, he's watching nearby, cerca, as usual. Everybody's got pre-coronation jitters. Coronation, coronación, you know, when they crown someone. And jitters are nerves, los nervios. Jitters, con J, okay? Pre-coronation jitters, including me. Everybody that is, todos menos, except Fat Louis, Louis el Gordo. He's totally adapted to being a royal. I guess he was one all along. Supongo que él era uno todo este tiempo. All right, it's time to move on to You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
All right, folks, some casino jokes. Hey, we were looking at Las Vegas. We looked at many uses of the word bet. All right, you know what happened last time I went to Las Vegas? They asked me to leave the casino. Yeah, I got kicked out. You know why? They said that I had a chip on my shoulder. No, a chip, una ficha. Also, if you have a chip on your shoulder, you're always angry. You're always resentful. So my mother used to say it when I used to be this angry young man. Well, you know, when you're younger and they've got a problem with the world. The world owes me something. El mundo me debe algo. That's to have a chip on your shoulder. right? It says here, ser un resentido, ser rencoroso, okay? To have a resentful attitude. So I got kicked out of the casino because I had a chip on my shoulder. Tenía una ficha? Is that what you call them? All right. Why is gambling illegal in China? Why is gambling, el juego, illegal in China? Because they hate to bet. You get it? They hate to bet. Odian apostar. They hate to bet. Tibet. Come on, that one do you get, right? Tibet. Because we don't say Tibet, we say Tibet. So it sounds the same way saying apostar, right? He hates to bet. So si no lo ves escrito, odia apostar o odia el Tibet. You bet that was funny. Pues claro que sí. So because they hate to bet. All right, last one. Why don't vampires like gambling? Well, they always get nervous when the stakes are raised. Okay. So to raise the stakes, well, a stake is something that kills vampires, right? The stakes. But also to raise the stakes es subir la apuesta, right? So it's estaca, right? To levantar la estaca, pero to raise the stakes es subir la apuesta, so to levantar la, you get it? Why do vampires hate why do vampires hate gambling, or why don't they like gambling? Well, they get really nervous when the stakes are raised. All right, my amigos, those are your jokes. It's time for famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, let's take a look at today's famous birthdays. Number one, they call this guy the godfather of grunge. Okay, the godfather of grunge. He was the guy from Canada, or he is. I killed him already. Wow. He's the guy from Canada who told us, keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world. And his last name is Joven. He's not Joven. He was born in 1945. So, even compared to me, he's not Joven, but that's his name. If you don't see it written, is Estar de Rodillas, Joven. Okay. I can't help you any more than that. Number two, she was the Princess of Genovia. She was also in The Devil Wears Prada. She was in many other movies as well. The Intern. She was in Interstellar. She was in The Dark Knight Rises. She was also in Les Miserables, the movie musical. Very, very famous actress. And also Brokeback Mountain. Oh, I didn't realize she was in that too. And speaking of famous actresses, this actress was not just an actress, but she was also the Princess of Monaco. That's right. Speaking of princesses, she had mucha elegancia, and it's not just because it was her name. In fact, I mentioned her name. I was trying to give you a little clue before I mentioned her name. All right, we don't have time, so I've got to give them to you. We literally have a minute and a half. Chris, you got them. Number one, Neil Young. Number two, Anne Hathaway. And number three, Grace Kelly. Let's take a look. This is from the movie High Society. This is Grace Kelly. She is hanging out by the pool. I think she's got her feet in the pool. And the guy comes up and says, cold. And she says, and what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes? So he was kind of like hiding in the bushes. He snuck up on her. Mischief is travesura. So what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes? And he says, wedding present. Regalo de boda. She says, wouldn't it have been simpler to have it sent over? ¿No hubiese sido más fácil que me lo manden aquí? Well, you said you had something to say. Here she is, Grace Kelly.
Cole.
And what little mission of mischief brings you out of the bushes?
Wedding present.
Wouldn't it have been simpler to have it sent over? Well, you said you had something to say.
All right, folks. Excellent job. Thank you for all your participation. We're going to say goodbye with Harvest Moon by Neil Young. It's a beautiful song, and he wrote it in 1992. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been fun. We'll come back tomorrow and do it all over again. You guys rule. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.